Hi, I'm Sohail. Today I'm going to discuss the dicot leaf anatomy. Main points of the lesson are leaf anatomy including the epidermis, mesophyll tissues, vascular tissues, bundle sheath and bundle sheath extensions. Leaves are small solar powered food factories. Through a process called photosynthesis, they make their own food. Plants use carbon dioxide, water and sun energy to produce glucose and oxygen. Leaves form the basis of global food chain. Dicot leaf has a net-like veins that is called reticulate venation. Examples of dicot plants are roses, geraniums, peas, beans, daisies, oak, trees, cactus, apple, etc. Let's watch this simulation to observe the net-like reticulate venation of maple leaf. Dicot leaf anatomy that consists of three main parts, that is epidermis, mesophyll tissues and vascular tissues. Dicot leaf that has upper epidermis and lower epidermis, and the cells in the epidermis are compactly arranged in the form of a single layer. Upper surface that is known as adaxial epidermis and the lower surface that is known as abaxial epidermis. Epidermis is covered with a layer of cuticle. The cuticle on the upper epidermis is comparatively thicker than lower epidermis. Dicot leaves are hypostomatic, which means stomata are only present in the lower surface of the leaf. Stoma is singular, stomata is plural, and stoma is surrounded by a pair of bean-shaped or kidney-shaped guard cells. What are subsidiary cells? Subsidiary cells are distinct epidermal cells which surround the guard cells. So, subsidiary cells, guard cells and stomatal opening, they are collectively known as stomatal apparatus. Each stoma that opens into air chamber, and the guard cells, they contain chloroplast and photosynthetic in function, but epidermal cells, they do not have chloroplast. The main function of epidermis is to give protection to the inner tissues, that is called mesophyll. Cuticle layer which is present here in upper epidermis as well as in lower epidermis, its function is to check transpiration, and stomata are used for transpiration and gas exchange. So, what is transpiration? It is the loss of water in the form of water vapors from aerial part of the plant body, that is called transpiration. All tissues except epidermis and vascular bundles which are present inside the leaf, that is called ground tissue. And ground tissue, that is mesophyll tissue which is present between upper epidermis and lower epidermis. In dicot leaf, mesophyll tissues are differentiated into palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. Palisade parenchyma cells are present below the upper epidermis, and palisade parenchyma cells are cylindrical cells which are present in one layer or in two layers, but they are compactly arranged without intercellular spaces. Palisade parenchyma cells, they contain numerous chloroplasts and they are photosynthetic in function. Spongy parenchyma cells are irregularly shaped cells. They are loosely arranged, present towards the lower epidermis, and they contain air spaces or intercellular spaces. As compared to palisade parenchyma cells, spongy cells, they contain less number of chloroplasts. Spongy cells, they facilitate the exchange of gases with the help of air spaces. Let's watch this simulation to examine the chloroplast in plant cells. Vascular tissues are present in the veins and midrib of leaf, and vascular bundles are conjoined, collateral and closed. Now, what are conjoined, collateral and closed? Conjoined mean xylem and phloem are seen joined together on the same radius. So, here is phloem and xylem, they are present in the same radius, that is called conjoined. Collateral mean xylem is present towards the inner side and phloem is present towards the outer side. And closed mean cambium is absent. What is cambium? Cambium is actively dividing cells which are present between xylem and phloem tissues, and they are responsible for secondary growth. In dicot leaf, cambium is absent. Xylem is present towards the upper epidermis and phloem is present towards the lower epidermis. Vascular bundles, that is xylem and phloem, they are surrounded by a compact layer of parenchyma cells that is called bundle sheath, and bundle sheath is also known as border parenchyma. In dicot leaf, xylem consists of protoxylem and metaxylem vessels, but protoxylem and metaxylem vessels are not differentiated. Protoxylem is present towards the upper epidermis and metaxylem is present towards the lower epidermis. Phloem, that consists of sieve tubes, companion cells and phloem parenchyma, and phloem tissues are present towards the lower epidermis. In dicot leaf, bundle sheath are non-vascular cells and they do not contain chloroplasts, so they are colorless. And bundle sheath, they also conducts the flow of water from xylem to the mesophyll cells and then to the intercellular spaces. Bundle sheath extensions are vertical sheets of colorless cells and they generally extend to both epidermal layers. As we can see in this diagram, these are bundle sheath extensions, and these bundle sheath extensions, they extend towards upper epidermis as well as towards the lower epidermis. Bundle sheath extensions consists of parenchyma cells or sclerenchyma cells. What is the function of xylem and phloem? Xylem, that transports water and nutrients from plant soil to stems and leaves, and phloem distribute organic nutrients from the leaves to the rest of the plant. To sum up, dicot leaf that has reticulate venation, and leaf anatomy is concerned, dicot leaf, it has upper epidermis and lower epidermis, and epidermis is made up of a single layer of cells that are closely packed. And epidermis is covered by a layer of cuticle. Cuticle in case of upper epidermis is comparatively thicker as compared to lower epidermis. Dicot leaves are hypostomatic, which means stomata are only present on the lower surface of the leaf. Stoma is surrounded by kidney shaped guard cells, and the guard cells, they contain chloroplast, and guard cells, they are surrounded by distinct epidermal cells which are called subsidiary cells. The ground tissue is mesophyll, which is differentiated into palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. Palisade parenchyma, that consists of cylindrical cells which are compactly arranged below the upper epidermis without intercellular spaces, and palisade cells, they contain numerous chloroplasts and photosynthetic in function. Spongy parenchyma, they are irregular shaped cells which are present towards the lower epidermis. They contain air spaces, so they are loosely arranged. They also contain chloroplast, but the number of chloroplasts in spongy parenchyma is comparatively less as compared to palisade parenchyma. Vascular bundles are present in the veins and midrib of the leaf, and vascular bundles are conjoined, collateral and closed. Vascular bundles including the xylem and phloem, and xylem is present towards the upper epidermis and phloem is present towards the lower epidermis. Vascular bundles, they are surrounded by bundle sheath, and bundle sheath extensions, they extend to both epidermal layers. Let's watch this slideshow to identify the anatomy of dicot leaf.